Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Four Friends podcast, where the four of us will engage in thoughtful conversations. We'll be discussing a number of things, everything from self love to family ties to friendships, money, career, and beyond. The four of us are also Hmong, and so we want to tie that into our experience because I think, as being first generation, for me at least, as much as I try not to make Hmong my whole identity, it plays a huge part of who I am. And so, yeah, we just thought that we're really just four friends and we live in different cities, and this is a way for us to connect and share. All right. So today is actually our very first podcast episode. We actually tried this over a year ago, and life just gets in the way, as we all know. We are all like in our like mid 30s to 40s, so we just don't have the time. But yours truly is in a place where I might be coming up on free time. And so I thought that it would be fun to bring this back up and just connect with my friends. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on here. I think what we'll do is first start off with introducing ourselves. And then we can get into a little bit of how this idea came about and how we all know each other. So, yeah, maybe I'll let Billy and Chow, you guys can start us off.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, I'm Chow. Let's see. Born and raised in Sacramento. Left to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo for 4 years. Major in civil engineering. And then back in Sacramento. And now there's two of us and a baby and a dog.
Yeah, we had a baby and a dog in between that first episode that might never air to today. So I'm Billy. I'm not from the Sacramento area. I came here because we got engaged. But I've been around. I grew up in Northern California in Crescent City. We were actually the first Hmong family to grow up there, or to move into town rather. And so spent some time there. I'm a little older. Went to school in the Bay Area. Started working there for about 10 plus years. Moved around, found her. Um, and so eventually circled Sacramento and then landed here. But let me see. What else to include? What else to include? Do I talk about my
You
work?
guys are married. Did you guys mention that?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we're
right.
married now.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Child just doesn't have a child with this guy that she's engaged with. They're actually
Oh,
married.
that's
So
true.
Right, we're married.
Relationships. I guess it's getting kind of serious. We got married.
Yeah.
We didn't
yeah.
change our names. So I got a name change. She did not get a name change.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, wait, hold on. We have to talk about this later, but I
yeah,
want to hear why Billy got a name change and
yeah.
Chow did not. So,
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
awesome.
yeah.
Okay, thanks for the intro. Hua, you want to go?
Hi everyone, I'm Hua. I grew born and raised in Fresno, grew up, lived in Fresno my whole life, and then I went to San Luis Cal Poly Slow. That's where I met Victoria and Chow over there because of our shared culture and I guess our Hmong identities. So that's how I met them, and we've been friends ever since. So that was what probably 2012. So yeah, so yeah, that's it. That's all. And I have a dog. And I have a dog.
Okay, so then I'm Victoria. I also grew up in Fresno, although technically Clovis. So I feel like if you're from Fresno and you say you're from Fresno, but then someone says, "Oh, I'm from Clovis," it's like you're not from Fresno. So I'll just clarify that I grew up in Clovis, and then yeah, we all met at Cal Poly. We actually established like the first Hmong like student association there, because there's not a lot of Hmong people that go to Cal Polys. And so, yeah, that's how we met. And then we just became really good friends and we kept in touch since. It's been over, what, 12 years, right?
Yeah.
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 Since,
So,
Victoria came
yeah,
out in 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, we've been out of college for a long time.
Yeah.
I came on the scene in 2017, so it feels more like 9 years for me. But yeah,
Cool. All right. So, since this is our first podcast, we're kind of freestyling it, but maybe I'll start off with like why I wanted to have like start this back up a little bit. So as I mentioned, I might be coming up on some time, free time. um I'm kind of in this like place where maybe it's like a quarter life crisis. Like every day I'm crashing out and I'm thinking of like quitting my job because I'm just in this weird place where I don't love my job anymore. And for some context, after I left Cal Poly, I moved out to the Bay Area and I've worked in tech for the past 12 years. And so fast forward like maybe less than maybe like 6 months ago, I actually got laid off from my employer. I worked and I got laid off. And then I just like started like serial applying to a bunch of tech jobs, was going through a bunch of interviews, ended up getting a job, which I hate. So that's kind of where I'm at now. And I'm like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. And so I think I just really needed my friends to talk to and, just be there for me in this part of my life. And that's why I like hit everyone up and I was like, hey, should we do that podcast again? Because um, sometimes you just need your friends. So that's kind of where I'm at. Anyone else want to share anything about themselves and where they are in their life right now?
Um, oh, well, I guess I could go next. Well, I think recently too. So, I talk a lot, so I love connecting with people. But I've been traveling a bit recently. So, like last year, I went on some travels, and it's just been making me question like my relationships and friendships with people, or just the human connection. So that's been great, and I've been having a lot of conversations. Just about like friendships, quality of a relationship, just really any kind of relationship, and just what do you want to accomplish in life, and happiness. What is the meaning of that? So give me a second. I'm gonna mute myself because my dog's starting to play with that toy. Okay, yeah. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Just traveling, probably enjoying life, and really trying to have quality experiences is the goal.
Awesome. Chow, Billy, you guys want to share a little bit about where you guys are in life? And maybe this would be a good time for Billy you to talk about how you had a name change and Chow did it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we're so happy. We're so happy. I'm so happy to be married together. What's my thought? Well, I mean, we're talking about relationships. My relationship with work. I'm in a rough spot right now. Work. There's some things that are going on. I work in education. I work in higher ed. Currently, I loved my job before. I used to recruit for. I did that for 10 plus years. I went to Chico State, worked in the EOP office as an EOP advisor and their first year experience coordinator. I love that job. Um, she was down here, so I had to move. Otherwise, like I went there thinking it was going to be a 2 year stint. And then it ended up being four, and going in not knowing anybody to fast forward 4 years, it being hard to leave. I left that for an emergency hire position over at. We actually got married that week. We weren't gonna move in together until we got married. So we I moved down on a Monday. Started my job on a Monday. We got married on the Friday, Saturday ish.
they
On the
let you
Friday,
take that Friday
Saturday.
off?
I don't even remember these days.
Yeah. So, because I had to get off work, and then I was supposed to take her home. I ended up being so tired. She ended up driving us home
I
to
took
get
us
married.
home.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, that's it. It was kind of a whirlwind. I was over at Davis, and they were actually taking care of me, and things were just starting to be in place, and I realized that work because eventually I was the assistant director for their undergraduate admissions office, and one of them, and it was great pay. That like there was really good people around there, but I really enjoyed and missed working directly with students. And so when this opportunity came up over at Sac State, we actually had a conversation, and we were like, this doesn't make sense if we have kids. But right now we don't have kids. We didn't have any kids at the time. And so I made the jump. It was the right move at the time. and got me working with students again. But then I ran into some things that made it a little challenging. This was the first time that I didn't love my job. And so I'm still kind of working through some of those kinks right now. So I can totally relate to things that you're talking about, Victoria, in terms of, do I just leave this and do something completely different? I remember when I was on maternity leave, or paternity leave. I was like, do I just give them my 2 weeks notice? Because I was ready to come back. I was like, do I just give them my 2 weeks notice? I have some retirement that we can like use. I can find another position. So this was a real situation that we were dealing with, and I'm still kind of dealing with it, but it's improved a bit. But yeah, and so that's in the air. I think it's there's like light at the end of the tunnel. So finishing out this semester, we're wrapping up the semester of RSAC. Um, there's some light at the end of the tunnel. So things I'm doing over the summer and in the fall, upcoming fall, I'm kind of excited for those things. So yeah, there's good things on the horizon. But as far as marriage, yeah, we have our daughter is like one and a half. Our dog is 4 months. Whose bright idea was it to get a puppy while your daughter is like not even two? Um, this guy. So yeah, so in the Hmong culture, in the Hmong culture, because I'm white, Hmong white, Hmong Dog. I'm Hmong Dog, but my wife is Hmong, and so uh, for me, for Hmong Dog, you usually get your name changed after like your first kid, but after a while, like when they think that you become a man. Sometimes you honestly wait because patriarchy is real. Sometimes you wait until the first son, which is horrible. You wait till the first son. It's like you're not really an adult until you have your first son. And but with the Hmong culture, which is great, you do that with your first child, and you actually do that alongside of their blessing party, which usually happens just a month after they're born. Which, in fairness, is really early for me to become an adult. But yeah, but that's another story. So when that happened, we blessed her and welcomed her into the family officially, and then what is it? I also got my new name, which is Schwartzia now. So there's that.
Did you legally change it?
No, not yet. I want to. I want to. Plus, the spelling of my first name is Xia, and it's very like a lot of times when we go out, they think she's Sia and I'm Chow.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's also another story. Yeah.
Oh, Lily, I
That's
do have a
funny.
question. Who chose the name? I actually don't know who chose the name.
We kind of chose the name, so I like the name because it's my grandfather's first name. His name is Shor Pielo. But you in the Hmong culture, you only have one of in a branch in a family, you only have one with that name. So because his first name was Shua, even though it's Shuapia, like no one else could have that because it's just when you're calling spirits and whatnot when you're feeding, it's just the one like in terms of those who are alive. But my grandfather passed about 2 years back. 2 years back. He passed shortly before then. Well, I had shared with Chow that I like that name, but then it's not in the cards because my grandfather's still alive. And then when he passed, it's like, well, it's kind of back on the table now. But then I had to clear it with my brother who also liked the name, and he's like, oh, I got another one in mind. If you want it, you can have it. And so I had checked it with Chow. I checked it with my dad just to make sure, like, because this is your dad's name, make sure that's okay. My grandfather, when he passed, he was 103, so he
Wow.
lived a nice full life. Um, he didn't have that many kids, but like he had a lot of descendants and stuff, and they consider it blessed, especially with the long life. And so yeah, that's one of the things that they check for as well, making sure that your name in your family isn't like I don't know, cursed. It doesn't lead to like a bad fortune. They really want you to start things off in the right manner. Usually, so when I was born, I got the name Tia, and usually when you become an adult, they just add a name in the front, which is what happens. But every now and then you throw it away entirely to get
Yeah.
a brand new name.
Yeah.
Um, But ultimately, it's up to my in-laws because I'm Honda. So you have to ask the in-laws to bless you with a name, but then they usually ask you like in turn. They ask you like, well, is there a name that you like, that you both like? And then they have to look at that, and everybody who's at that table pretty much has a say. So you have to be mindful of the folks you bring in because they're like, oh, you know what, like so and so, I knew somebody who didn't live a good life, and then they come up with a new name. But yeah, it was fairly easy. But so now I have a new name, which is kind of confusing because it's mainly just on paper, or not even on paper. It's not even on paper. It's on my business card, but
It's
now I have
culture.
this new name. Yeah, but everybody now just calls me Billy instead of the other name. So yeah.
Okay, so
But
I have a few things that I wanted to ask about that or even comment on. Okay, so when you first said that you changed your name, my mind did not even go towards like "Ganun Beilawa."
huh?
My
Oh.
mind literally was like,
Yeah.
oh, he did he get like Yang added onto his name?
Oh
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay.
yeah, Beyonce, the
Yeah.
Beyonce effect. Yeah, Beyonce, Jay-Z.
Yeah, so that's where my mind went. And then the second question, or I guess thought, is that is it a rule that you can't have someone's name if they are still alive?
If they're in your immediate family, if they're in your immediate family,
Mm.
so like my cousins who have a different last name, like it's like my dad's sister's kids, we can share names. We can like his boys' names, his kids, his daughters' names. I can name my daughters the same thing, but like within my lineage of it's patriarchy. So like with the guys. I can't name my kids. Well, we can't name our kids like any of my brother's kids' names, for example.
Is that just is it based on clan or something? Because like on my mom's side, there is like a bunch of people with the same name.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, I
One
mean,
of them.
it might be. You're not supposed to have the same names, but technically, Shuopia and Shuotia are like two different people, technically. But
Mm.
there's like this thing about energies and stuff, and sometimes you fight energies. I know when this is gonna sound bad. When my sister's daughter was born, they're like, "Oh, she's got your face," and she's like, "Oh yeah," and the elders were like, "No, that's not a good thing. If she's got your face, like there can only be one of you, you know." And I was like, "What?" Like this is the
Oh,
first time
interesting.
I've seen this, but yeah, she actually ended up only living like about 2 weeks. So I don't know.
Um.
Maybe there's some truth to that. I'm hearing some noise. I got to go check this out.
Oh no. Thanks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We have a sitter
Oh,
here for our
Yeah.
baby.
oh, that's so nice of me.
But yeah, your
Yeah.
your check in and then eventually your not name change.
Yeah. Oh shit. Where did I start? I think we're like going off on where we're at now in
Yeah,
life,
yeah.
huh? Okay. I think for me is this new identity of a mother, but also a working professional. I think I'm trying to figure out what this new identity is and where my priorities are because my priorities changed quite a bit and um especially also in like the professional world there's talks about like management and stuff but now I'm at a place where excuse me, I'm still covered from a cold where I don't want
Wait,
to
what?
do that.
Keep going.
Yeah, where I want to take a step back and so I'm trying to figure that out because I used to be a high achiever like oh yeah I want to climb the corporate ladder but now I'm like no I just want to get paid well go home hang out with my kid and dog um so that's where I'm at is trying to figure out this identity. And then name change wise. So at first I was for name change. I'm like, oh yeah, we're getting married. I'll just change my last name. And add either add yours or change it. And then Billy, we thought about it for a while. He was like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" He's like, "You've been Chowying your whole life, and you're." He was telling me with my seal and everything, I'm Chow Yang PE. He's like, "You're gonna have to change all that." And then he's like, "I think you should just keep it." And I'm like, "You know what? You're right. Maybe I'll just keep it." And so I decided not to change it because I'm like, you have a point. I've been shouting my whole life, and I think I want to stay that way because that's what it is on paper as well.
New
And so
identity. Yeah.
yeah,
Plus my dad's name is Zhang Chao Lo, and so it's just very confusing. Anyway,
about that.
yeah, that's actually true.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, yeah. I was in support of it because it's just folks looking around, she had already established herself. Like I didn't see the I don't. There was no benefit to her changing her last name. It's the new person named Chow Lo now, and not Chow Yang. And I was like, we know we're married. We know we're good. And yeah, like my in my head, I was like, okay, what if we have kids? Because we didn't have kids yet. If we have
Mhm.
kids, like, what will their last name be? And she's like, Low. I was like, oh, okay, right, okay. We ironed out two things right there, just super quick. But yeah, I mean, I do see that being different. Like all of a sudden, there's like a new person in the directory. It seems like, or like this other person's gone. And I don't know. I just felt like it was absolutely like it not needed anymore. That's
Mhm.
where we stand. Y'all can do whatever you want, but that's where we landed on. So
That's why I like
Yeah,
you.
no, I think yeah, I was gonna say that's like very progressive thinking. Because I know that I've like dated guys that would be like, "Oh, you should change your last name if we ever get married," and I'm like, "Well, I don't know. This is just me also being like a smart ass," but I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna change my name just to get cheated on later on. You know what I mean? Like, how
you change your name.
embarrassing is that? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it feels weird to be like, oh, I'm gonna change my last name. I'm not gonna be Victoria Yang anymore when I've been that my whole life. So yeah, I think that's quite progressive of you, Billy.
Oh,
Okay, so maybe while we were kind of talking a little bit about culture and stuff like that, um, maybe we all can share how Hmong we think we are. Because I feel like between us, we have different levels. So,
oh yeah.
Hua, do you want to go?
Um,
Oh, Pahua.
well,
Okay, let's do a range. Okay, is 1 to 10 too much?
I think one
One
to
to
One to
ten
five.
is
10.
good because
One
I
to
One to
think
10.
10.
Okay.
how me personally, what I think,
12.
wow, I think maybe a seven. Maybe I say seven because I think because of the language, and I speak it very well, but not well enough, because I can't like, you know how like in our culture you are very flowery with words, or like, they speaketh very differently, right? So I'm not there yet. Like I can't speak at like my parents or grandparents' level, but I could still communicate and like go hello little ming, right? But and it's just kind of like, ooh, it's cool because in like present day, a lot of like people in our generation can't really speak the language as fluently. So that, and then also there's just like the culture, and I think I kind of understand like a lot of the culture and customs, but I'm not like all knowing, and there's so much pieces that are missing that I would still like to learn more and just to understand. So that's why I say a seven, just because, um,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
You're being humble.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
No.
messing up this curve.
Yeah, if you're a seven,
Well,
I'm a zero
Yeah.
because
I was
What
like,
the heck?
I can't go higher
because,
than a five. Well, what's the
no,
seven? I
because
can't
I'm
go
just
higher
saying
than
like the customs, like just saying like for like the Hmong customs with like weddings and funerals and like just so many things, right? Like I understand like a lot of the rituals and things like that, right? But then like to the level of like our uncles and like, see, so like I can't, when I listen to thing, I don't know what it's saying. But then when like they're, oh okay, how you know, and then like they're saying it in Hmong, then you could kind of listen to like how they say that, right? But which it's kind of like, when you go to a funeral and like you have to know what they're saying. So I get that part, right? I get those things. But when obviously like I'm not good enough because you could chuan ya, chuan blong, whatever it is, the musical stuff, I cannot pick up the language from those instruments. So that's why I'm saying a seven. Because
okay, all
my
right.
parents, they could be like, "Hey, could you not that I'm blong the 20 though?" I'm like, or like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh shit, I was gonna rate myself a seven too,
Yeah,
but
I
now
was
I'm
gonna go with
like,
7.
uh, I don't
Well,
even know what the blonde thing is. Like,
yeah.
okay, I guess I'll go next. Okay, if it was a seven, I would say
You're not
maybe I'm like a four. or 3?
No, you have to look at the 1 to 10 on your scale, not Hua's scale.
Your
Yeah.
scale.
So we go
Okay.
7. Yeah,
I
we go
rate
7.
myself.
I think that was the
Okay,
number
I'll
that
give
you had
my
said.
reasoning why I think okay, if I'm a 7, I'll give my reasoning. Okay.
Yes.
I do feel like I speak the language pretty well. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, like, for like being American, I think I speak it pretty well, you know. I like show up to like the events, like at least my immediate family. I show up for my parents, I show up for my aunties and uncles whenever they have events and stuff like that. So I would say that I appreciate and respect the culture and the practices, but I don't I'm not super big into the community just because of like approximation. I've been living in the Bay Area for the past 10 plus years. And it's not really a part of my day to day. Like, I don't really listen to Hmong music or anything like that, right? So yeah, okay, maybe I need to decrease my score a little bit, but yeah, that's where I say. Okay, Billy and Chow, you guys want to go?
You go first.
Okay. Shoot.
A
Probably
10?
no,
What?
no, no. Maybe like I'm gonna say like a 6, because similar to Victoria, I think I show up for like family events, in immediate, and also like aunts and uncles, um, and I in the community, I like to go and support the Hmong community, different Hmong orgs, volunteer for a couple that did scholarship for Hmong students in high school. Like I want to support the Hmong community and higher education and their businesses. I want to go out and support their business, like local small businesses. So I think from that aspect, I said I'm pretty Hmong, but from the cultural side, I think there's a lot I don't understand. And sometimes I take things at face value. Like I think I had this conversation, I think, with Hua. Sometimes people tell you traditions and stuff, they don't tell you exactly what they really mean. But when I ask and someone answer, I take it at face value, and I don't dive in deeper. Like, okay, so what do you really mean by that, or what does it mean when we have to do things a certain way? And then also a lack of knowledge and understanding. Like weddings, funerals. There's a lot. Like I go to them, but usually I'm working. I don't watch the custom. I don't know like what place this is, or why do we have certain people doing what. I don't even know the roles. Like the only one I know the name is Mekong. That's it. I don't even know the other roles of the other people that go with them. I know there's a couple people, and so I don't think I'm very Hmong in the cultural aspect. Um, yeah, that's why I say like a what did I say 6?
Yeah, you
I
said
forget.
6.
Okay, yeah.
But in answering it, you kind of went into like, to be a good Hmong child, you don't ask questions. You don't question stuff.
Yeah.
And then you went into it, like kind of explaining like that's like a deficiency of sorts, but really that's kind of what we're taught. So being that you're even able to be a product of that, it shows that you're a product of the system.
It's true.
Yeah. So for me, I was gonna say 7. I'm far from Hua, but like yeah. Why did we let you go first?
Yeah, for reals.
Yeah, but I mean the reality is just the thing that I think Hua you were also speaking to this, like there's still more. There's still more, and I like that because as far as we are, because just like even if we were to compare ourselves with other folks, we're pretty advanced in some areas and less in others. Um and like just to know that there's more learning to do, and more things that we want to learn and appreciate about our culture. I think that's a beautiful thing. I grew up in Crescent City, as I was mentioning. We're the first Hmong family to grow up there, and so I do have these like American lenses that I get to see the world in sometimes. And so looking at things like name change, that's definitely a privilege to be able to look at that and say like, oh, that doesn't serve me. Or like for example, we have a daughter now, so it's like, let's try not to pass this on to her. But even to be able to be in that spot to look at the world and pick and choose, that's kind of a blessing and a privilege. But yeah, I grew up in that small town. Eventually, there's more Hmong folks who moved in, and so I hung out a lot with the elders, the Hmong elders, and like at school, it was just white folks, Mikasa. And so like my English got pretty well, and then my Hmong got pretty good. And but then I went away to college in in a school that had like no Hmong people, probably like five people. You could literally count people, similar to y'all's experience at Cal Poly Slow, where it's like there's so few of us that everyone knew everybody, and like y'all kind of clung together. We couldn't even start a club because you needed 6 members. But so yeah, I actually started losing my language quick. Like second semester, it was an English class, and you had to interview somebody. I was like, oh, easy. I'm gonna call my dad and just interview him. And like I already had like an insider, so I'm calling my dad for this project, and I'm trying to talk to him. And I realized how hard it was for me to find words. That and the combination of my youngest brother not knowing who I was, like when he heard my voice, I was like, oh crap, I've been away from home too long. And so I went home for the summer. Right away after that, I quit my job, my summer job. I quit my summer job, went home right away. But yeah, I lost the language pretty quick. But now living in Sacramento and just being older, being able to kind of pick and choose. Also with technology, you can listen to some Hmong songs. You can listen to like take in podcasts. You can take in Hmong stuff. There's Facebook and Instagram pages and what have you. Miss Julie. Shout out to Miss Julie. And so, yeah, gaining a little bit of that back, but still have a long way to go. And I think that's a good thing. I said 7. Talking too much. I'm gonna now.
No, that's great. Yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of like what you were saying. It's like what it means. Like I know we like had a scale, but it's almost like what does being Hmong mean to you, right? Like, um, I think because there's not a lot of us in general, right, in the United States, there's this sense of community when you do find another Hmong person, right? Like that's how we all got brought together. Cal Poly obviously did not have a large Hmong community, and then we all like went looking for each other. Like I think we had talked about this in the past. We were like on the student portal searching for like Hmong last names and just trying to connect with one another. And it's weird because like when you meet another person out in the wild, especially in a environment that is, doesn't have a lot of Hmong people, you have this instant connection, the sense of community and wanting to like support each other and have each other's back. So I think it's like it's a very like beautiful and humbling experience. Yeah.
We called it Mongdar over at Sonoma. We call it Mongdar. Like, oh, that person's Hmong. And then yeah, you go and you approach them like, hey, have you heard about this club? But yeah, Sac State's about like 30 plus thousand students, and so there's more of a population over there. They had two Hmong clubs, and I think now they're back to two, but one of them was
Whoa.
like in health, and the other one is kind of like an HSA, Hmong University Student Association. I think the health one went away, but then I think there's like a Bible club, that Bible study group that came about. But I know talking to some of the students over there, they're like, no, that's either not my thing, or I actually didn't want to be a part of that. So I mean that's also a different type of privilege in terms of like having the ability to choose to be a part of that or not. Whereas when we went to places that had it was so rare, like you yearn for that, especially if it's away from home, and like you're such the minority to the point where it's like everything else is so different. Like I know I kind of clung to that. Even I remember I had this conversation with this girl, and she dated a Hmong guy. She dated a Hmong guy at home, and so I was like, oh my gosh, let's talk about Hmong stuff for a little bit. I remember, yeah. It was
That's
very
funny.
rare over there at Sonoma.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Like we're in my like 12 years of working in the Bay Area, I've only come across like two Hmong people. And so one of them was like when I first started my career, and he was like a senior manager at Kaiser in their like technology, like risk practice or something like that, org or something like that. And so it was like kind of, I was like really young in my career, but I was like, oh my gosh, another Hmong person. And then the other person was this girl that I met at Visa, and we had worked together for like almost 2 years, and neither of us knew that we were Hmong.
Wow.
Yeah. Like literally we were on meetings together all the time. And then like 2 years later, I joined her team. And in my bio, I had said like I had 7 siblings. And so then she came up to me and she was like, "Hey, Victoria, are you Hmong?" I was like, "Oh my God, yeah, how did you know?" And she was like, "Oh, because you said you had 7 siblings and I'm also Hmong." And I was like so shocked. And now we're like really good friends.
What's her
So
last
yeah, it's
name,
just,
Victoria?
what's her last name?
Yeah.
Cha.
Oh, okay. I guess it could be one of those last names. Like yours, I could like Yang.
Mhm.
You could be like Chinese too, so
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
why. Yeah.
I get it
Mhm.
too. You don't see it down here, but I get it too. I pass for like other ethnic groups, and so sometimes folks are like, yeah, I can kind of be invisible a little bit. We were eating pho the other day, and people were having super private conversations behind us, talking about like how they're trying to get their mom to go live with them because she was living with someone who wasn't like good for her, like a brother,
Yeah.
a son who wasn't good for her. I was like, you should be having this somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know I could hear you? But I don't know. Maybe they saw this face and they're like, he's good. He's good. We can have this conversation.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do
But
you
yeah,
guys come across like a lot of Hmong people in your careers in general?
well,
I've
what do you
not
do?
Probably
I've not
not.
come across a single Hmong person in my 8 years working at this company. I mean, but we're so small in Sacramento too. The only closest is my direct supervisor. He lives in Davis. He went to UC Davis. He has one Hmong friend, so he knows what Hmong is.
That's
Did she
so
That's
mention
cool.
what she does yet?
Yeah,
I don't
Chelsea,
know
I
if
maybe.
you
think
mentioned.
I did. I
you
said I
Oh,
said
briefly
okay.
mentioned that you're a civil engineer.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Since major in civil
Yeah.
engineering at Cal Poly. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
mainly you
there's
guys are in
folks.
office though, right? Do you guys interact with people? It
Um, we interact with clients. So there's only like engineers wise, maybe like 8 of us. Yes, 8 of us. But we have a lot of clients and customers. So I look at jobs throughout, I guess, the West Coast, Oregon, Nevada, New Mexico, all the way down to Texas. But across all those, I have not met a single one. Oh yeah, yeah. I've not met a single Hmong person. Yeah, on phone calls or meetings. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in higher ed, so I run into them here and there, but it's still good energy and it's a bit of an older crowd, so it's there's still that rapport where it's like, oh, you're mom. So that's kind of cool. You get a little bit with the students, but some students are like, okay, that's cool. I see Hmong people. I back in my day when you see each other at the store, like the market, you go up and you shake hands, even if it's a stranger. Like I grew up in those times because it's a while back. But nowadays, obviously when you see each other, you just kind of like, oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about you?
I'm also in higher ed. So like in my like because I work in a lab, right? So like I don't really get to interact with too many people, but on campus there's like a couple Hmong people where my college junior college specifically, they're starting to like hire like I guess a couple more, but I mean I'm in Fresno, so there's a large Hmong population, but a lot of the times they work at Fresno City College. So I work at a sister college, and it's more like the population is not as like I guess it's more like Lion X serving institution. So we don't really get as many of our Hmong people there, but usually if they are, then they're like counselors or they're doing other jobs that are student services. I'm like student services, but I'm doing like instruction side. So um, yeah. So I see some Hmong people too, but because of the nature of my job, I don't really get to venture beyond my lab space.
Yeah, I think what's interesting is we all like work in very different uh jobs and careers. I know like you and Billy are both in education, but in totally different like realms of higher education. So I know like for me personally, I would love to see more Hmong people explore fields that like you don't really see a lot of. Like, I mean, Chow, you're an engineer, and there's like there's already not a lot of women engineers, to
Right.
begin
Right.
with.
Yeah.
But then to be like also among women who's an engineer, I think is like quite rare. So yeah, I would love to see more diversity in like what we all do. Yeah, sure. I mean, like, even I feel like for me, like, obviously I'm like hating my job right now. I'm thinking of pivoting into something else. But like, um, I also feel like, working in corporate is something that does give you, or at least helps you build like a life that, at least for myself, right? Like, if I had not done corporate, I don't think I would have the life that I have now. And it has given me a lot and served me in a time um like I needed it to be, but I feel like it's no longer fulfilling me personally. But who knows? Like, I might quit and then I might be like take a few months off and then go back. But the future is kind of unclear for me right now.
One of my mentors had said like every 5 years, life kind of changes or like mindset, and he prefaced this by saying like, if you asked me 5 years ago that I'd be doing what I do now, I'd tell you you're crazy because like that's not what like intrigues me. But then now I'm into it. Uh, and so yeah, maybe right now this might not be your thing. You're like, but who knows? In about 5 years, maybe you'll come back. When I left that position at Davis, that wasn't really my speed. Now that we have a family, I'm looking for something like that. In terms of like, yeah, to for like, because it like when you're younger, I'm gonna say that, and have the energy and whatnot, and being on the front lines, working directly with students for me in higher education, that's where I needed to be 2 years ago. And then now, 2 years removed from there, I'm kind of like, oh, maybe it makes more sense right now for me to take a step back away from that front lines, and then climbing that social ladder, and making some of those decisions, being at the table at some of these conversations, that like making decisions that affect those folks at the front lines. So I'm open to new things now. That's just 2 years removed. So just kind of going along the lines of what you were saying.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe next time we talk, I might not have a job, so we'll see. I might be unemployed.
Well, Chow too.
Intentionally unemployed.
Yeah. Yeah, Chow, she was, yeah, I don't want to speak for you.
What? I don't know
No,
where you're going with this.
it's just like before we had a baby, it's like linear in terms of climbing this or
Yeah.
doing things, and now that like we have our daughter, it's your mindset's a little more so like I want to spend more time with her. She scares me because I'm worried I'm giving her like bad influences. I'm like, when we're just hanging out, like daddy daughter time, I'm like, there's probably something I could be teaching you right now or something. I could probably go like ABCs or something. I don't know. I feel like time is very wasted with me. Like a big part of it, obviously, is to show love and care, which is different from what I got. Like you get love, but it looked differently. And now I can offer love to my daughter in a different manner. I tell her I love her. I hug her, all that stuff. That I never got. But then yeah, it's different. I'm like, oh, like your mother would be doing lessons with you right now, or like finding better videos for you to watch. My daughter knows Pokemon. Disregard of that. Me indirectly. I don't know. I've got Pokemon Go on my phone, and so she's like Pokemon.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add? I mean, this one was kind of a freestyle, so we didn't have any planned topics, but yeah. Anyone want to add anything else?
I'm wondering like a sign off. Like, do we leave with the lesson? Do we, is there a
Yeah, we
parting
can do a
gift?
sign off.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just in terms of like how we would close it out.
Hmm.
Hmm. What
Maybe
would the lesson be of today's conversation? We've talked about a couple of different things.
maybe our own like personal, like what we got out of the conversation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
maybe
my
I can go then. Oh, sorry if I like cut you off.
oh no, please.
Oh, okay. I was just like, for me, like starting off from like me saying how last year or Victoria talked about why she thought she wanted to bring back the little podcast sessions. And so just falling from there, for me, I was also talking about how last year I've been doing a little bit of traveling and connecting with some people, or just like scheduling and planning things into like my life, like, as adults, and trying to manage and do all these things. So for me, I mean, even just having this little podcast, I'm like, I miss us. Like, I miss this. So I think for me, as a reminder, we're just talking about being Hmong and stuff. It's just community. And in us, it's kind of ingrained that community is important. So what I'm getting out of this is like, see, yeah, community is beautiful, and your village and your people and who you choose to, you know, surround yourself with. Yeah.
That is really good. Well, maybe that's our sign off.
I think so.
Because, yeah. The point of this is community, right? For friends, community. For friends. Yeah.
Well, we had talked about, like, I know this was kind of part of the genesis of Four Friends. Was we're just having a conversation, and I'm like, we should, like, more people should hear this. And it just, like, thinking back, like, I didn't have four friends to like bounce ideas off of, or like, sometimes you navigate the world alone. And yeah, I think with those lenses that I was talking about, with that privilege, you get to kind of create your own, like, build your life, but also a life that could potentially influence others. I'm pointing at my baby. And yeah, obviously friendship is important. It's crucial for me. I need that in my life, and so I'm glad these conversations are back. And just, yeah, being mindful of like, whether that's Hmong or friendships, or relationships with, like, work, for example. Just taking another look, because sometimes we're so busy, like, living in autopilot, that we forget to be like, do I even like this? So,
Yeah, for sure. All right. So anything else, or should we just close it, or what do you guys think?
you gonna say
Do you
something?
want to add something?
Oh, I was just saying, just piggyback both of you though. It's like a space for us to be there for each other. And I know Victoria said you need your friends, and whether or not it's just being a listening ear, being physically or mentally present. I know me as a mother, I also need that more than ever. It's just being surrounded by people who bring you joy, and people who
Who will actually listen?
yes,
What?
yes. It make you want to be a better person.
Yeah.
Love
Well, I
that.
think
All right.
I think in terms
Go
of
ahead.
adding to that, like, just like, I know we're doing this for us, because like, it fills my cup. But I mean, this is essentially, at the end of the day, it's an invitation for folks to you know to get along with four friends, and have this conversation. So I'll say that.
All right. Well, we don't have anything else to add. We could just close it out. And thanks everyone for first run.
Yeah.